This here's from Sky News. They're talking about, once again, how Meghan and Harry's staff keep quitting. Let's see what we got.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are losing staff once again. 4 staff members have left in recent weeks, according to People magazine. And they're, of course, not the first staff members to quit. Around 20 staff members have quit working for Harry and Meghan since they first moved to California 5 years ago. What's happening here?
Look, this is interesting because they just hired new staff members who are going to be across the team, really good people who had been working for major groups like Google and Apple and Netflix. So very, very experienced people. I think the issue continues to be why they leave staff is because there is no strategic purpose at the heart of what they do. Everything they do is very erratic. Now, you imagine working in a team like that where one minute we're doing this thing, but then we're doing this thing, or there's a very reactive approach to things. So, for instance, when Harry lost his court case in the UK over security, he was bang in front of the BBC within 24 hours.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. So if you hire somebody who's from like Google or Apple or any other well-organized organization or company, and your job starts going haywire, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, it doesn't look so great on your resume about what you did and you accomplished if the wind's always changing, you're always doing something different. I think if they hire people that are competent with experience, they're going to have some kind of streamlined experience, some kind of plan from A to Z to help that company and make things flow. So what I'm trying to say is basically, it's not the best work experience. You probably end up with kind of like a mixed bag of accomplishments and random additions to your resume.
There's not the thought and the process and the strategy that makes working for somebody a pleasurable and culturally kind of, uplifting experience. This would be very challenging. Now, whether or not they can change this or not, because the problem with this is that this is not how the monarchy works. The monarchy keeps people for a long time. They have an idea of what they're going to do. If they shift direction, it's like a ship moving very, very, very slowly, and they'll try a new approach, as we've seen with their use of social media. It just didn't happen overnight. Whereas everything that Meghan and Harry does, it's knee-jerk. And so leaving, Megxit, Meghan's business, so many things that Harry does. I'm going to do this, and then Centre Bali's falling over, and he's saying he's going to write, when he was going to write Spare, and then there was some idea that maybe there were problems with Spare. He told too much. There's not the thought that's there's not the thought that's going into this. There's not strategy, and for people to work in that environment must be very, very hard. They all sign NDAs though. If they could, one of them could actually speak out.
Yeah, and with Harry too. Writing a book one day, getting ready for a move one day, doing this Instagram thing one day. They're like content creators. They just try different shit to see what works. There's no coherent plan, and they haven't actually stuck with anything, at least not as far as a business to sell to the public, for a long time and let it build up steam.
Length, we'd get a much better idea of what it's like
in the cars. Well, we do have an update on Meghan Markle's new lifestyle brand as ever. Apparently, she'll be releasing new products. In an episode with Arise with Emma Greed, and Meghan explained that she'd been planning to offer plenty more products. Let's take a listen to this.
Okay, let's take this opportunity to grow, to have exponentially more SKUs as well as more inventory. And that's what we've been doing. We went right back to making sure we could scale up to that level.
Yes.
And have the quality meet the quantity, which was very key. And then if we have that opportunity of more time, the luxury of that is, well, the products that have been in development that were going to be punted to this quarter, should we pull this into this next launch?
What do you make listening to her on that podcast, first of all?
I find it so frustrating because we all know a good, successful business is one that launches and has their products available. These sold within 45 minutes, but she can spin anything in her favor. There she's saying, we were able to pull these products forward. Well, why were those products not ready to go the second week? Why was there not more stock? If she believes in her product, then she needs to have more of it. You don't want people thinking they'd like some jam and then can't get some jam or some flour sprinkles, although goodness knows how she manages to sell those flour sprinkles. Go out to your garden, honestly. It's just, she is the master of spin. The problem is that if you're going to spin well, you want people to believe it. None of us are believing it.
No.
We're just thinking, this is so lightweight. This is not a businesswoman. She's talking all the time about being a businesswoman, but she's not showing that she's a businesswoman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Sky News as far as their coverage of Meghan. I tend to agree. Basically, the best thing to do is show people, not tell people. A lot of people do a lot of telling, even in the way they argue, and not a lot of showing that they know what they're doing. So it's a good point. I guess Meghan's defense would be, well, I didn't know how much they'd sell, so I only made a certain amount, or this and that, but, seems like there's no excuse for running out of stock so fast. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.